Morning, everybody. This is Dan Bornt. It is Tuesday, March 28th. I'm just about getting ready to go to work. Before I pull off, just let you know if this is shaky, I apologize for the driving. I posted a quick update last night saying I'm working on trying to figure all this out. Well, right now, the way life and work and everything is, and the craziness of actually just, having family and things going on, morning commute and afternoon commute are really the best time for me to actually vlog, because it's the only time I'm by myself, I'm contained, and I can focus for more than 2 minutes or 5 minutes. So I apologize if the video looks weird and you see all of my car roof up here. I'm still trying to figure out the workflow on this whole thing, like where to position the camera when I'm driving, how to not look like I'm, how to do this without breaking any laws so that I'm actually, paying attention to the road and, looking down at you guys. I'm trying to work out the workflow. So just, if you're interested in the channel, bear with me. I'm going to try to keep the rattling noise to a minimum. Don't mind me. Put my water bottle over here. I've got a plethora of things that I'm working on. I want to keep cranking out these videos. So this is how we're going to do it. So if this kind of crappy video and audio doesn't float your boat, I apologize in advance. As with all of my videos, if you find anything that's that you don't like, you can either click the little thumbs down button, you can leave a comment saying this sucks, or you can just not watch. Whatever. So with that said, I'm going to take off here and get rolling. So again, I apologize for any road noise. To be honest with you, I don't mind the car vlogging so much, because even though my head might seem like it's on a swivel sometimes and whatnot, I honestly do some of my best thinking when I'm alone in the car. And generally, yes, I am talking to myself out loud when I'm in the car anyway. So, I don't know. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to try it this way. The whole series may just be, car vlogs. I don't know, whatever. I'll come up with some, I'll either come up with some ingenious title or just title them based on what I'm talking about. So this morning I wanted to give a couple quick little updates. I wanted to hit the weight loss thing. So yesterday, Monday mornings are my weigh-in now. I've officially decided that Monday mornings are going to be my weigh-in day. I know a lot of people like to do it. My buddy Mike does it on Saturdays. Some people like to do it on Sundays. I like to do it the first day of the work week. Don't know why. Don't know why I picked that day. I've just gotten into that habit. And so that's what I'm sticking with. So I weighed in yesterday at 255.2 pounds. Is that right? I think 255.2. No, I'm sorry. Scratch that. I think it's 251.8. Anyway, it's very close to what my original goal of 250 by May was. So I'm not really worried about that. And I don't remember if I talked about it in one of my other vlogs before, but the whole weight loss thing actually started with a buddy of mine that I work with. We were talking about, coming up with a way to motivate each other and be accountable to each other for our weight loss. And we concocted this cockamamie scheme to say, okay, we're going to pick a date. We're going to pick a goal weight for each of us, because he's a lot smaller than I am. He's already in fairly decent shape. He says he's overweight. Not as overweight as I am, or was, or still am. So either way, he picked a goal weight of, I think, 190, 195, and I picked a goal weight of 250. Starting from a reference point, I don't remember what his starting weight was, but my starting reference point was 284, 285. I think I logged in at 284 point something when I first put it into the app. So I was like, okay, if I could get down to 250 and lose that 30 pounds, that would be awesome. So then we said, okay, well, when are we going to do this? So originally, we wanted to make sure we didn't want to really set ourselves up for failure too bad. So the whole point is that we bet each other that said, whoever loses, we picked a weight, we picked the set time, whoever doesn't make their mark must donate money to a charity that they would not normally donate to. I'm not going to get into the specifics about the charities that we picked because the whole contest is kind of transmutated into something else at this point. But the key is that was the motivating factor. Now, we originally picked May. I don't know, maybe February. I'd have to look. I can't recall. At some point, my buddy Pat said, let's not do May, let's do June. Because he's trying to lose his last few pounds, which from what I've heard is always the hardest to do. So he's struggling just a little bit already. So he said June. I said, fine, June, no problem. That gives me an extra month to lose the 30 pounds. Well, here we sit at the end of March, and I'm only within like a pound or two of my goal. So at this point, I plan to just crush that goal and keep right going. I have set a new personal goal. I might have said this in the other vlog, but I've set a new personal goal of 230 by June. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll crush it, maybe I won't. You know, at this point I've been doing really good with the calorie tracking, with the sensible eating, not overeating, not binge eating, not boredom or stress eating. Those have been the key factors. I've eliminated all soda from my diet. I don't drink any kind of soda, not even diet soda. I occasionally drink Monsters, but the only Monsters that I do drink are the ones that have 0 calories with the Splenda in it. I drink lots of water. I drink unsweet iced tea. I drink coffee, no cream with Splenda, and I drink regular black or an assortment of hot teas, no cream, no sugar. Occasionally I might throw Splenda. But by doing just that alone is how I've gotten to where I am now, which is down about 30 pounds. A little bit more than 30 pounds actually, because my starting was 284 and I'm under 254. So anyway, so that's the weight loss portion of it. I am now starting to put together a plan of attack on the working out. The weather's starting to get nice, so I hope to get out and start walking either at lunch at work or at home first thing in the morning. I have to come up with a good, manageable routine. Now, my cousin Mark Struchetsky, there'll be a link to his page down in the show notes in case you guys are interested down below, is a next level productivity expert. And I get his newsletter, I watch his YouTube channel, and he's got really good stuff, man. Like, he's family, right? So I get it, you know, but I'm also not the kind of person to say if somebody's not turning out quality stuff, regardless if they're family or not. I'm not the type of person to say, oh yeah, you gotta go listen to my cousin Vinny, you know, whatever. No, Mark has his stuff together. He's really good. He's a really excellent speaker. He's funny. He's got a really good message. He's got good content, and a lot of the stuff that he's been putting out lately has really been helping me. Not that I take everything that he says at face value. I don't want to say face value, but not that I take everything that he says exact. But the one thing I can tell you about his content, at least for me, is that it gets me thinking. It gets me thinking about productivity. It gets me thinking about how do I structure my days? How do I organize my days? You know, I'm not going to blow his shtick, but he's got 2 key points that he always talks about. Doing things intentionally and making sure you're tracking those things. And doing just those 2 things alone has helped me tremendously. But you got to check out his stuff. He's really good. Again, his name's very hard to spell. It's a Polish last name. I'm half Polish. So I will have a link to his stuff down in the show notes. So beyond that, I'm trying to put together a workout program. And I'm trying to put together a workout regimen that is easy for me to follow, easy for me to maintain, and easy for me to track. You know, the one thing I found is that if I overcomplicate my tracking of anything, whatever it is, if I overcomplicate the tracking mechanism that I use, the tracking mechanism dies, and whatever I'm doing dies. Tracking and, you know, keeping logs of that nature and just keeping on top of stuff no matter where you do it, pen and paper, calendar, reminder app, whatever, apps on a phone. If it's not a system that's easy and not overly complicated, then I bail on it every time. Like I try to have the discipline to do these things, but my attention span, now I've never been labeled ADD, but my attention span for that kind of stuff only goes so far, right? If the process is too complicated, I'm out. I'm bailing, because I've got other things that need to get done, and I can't waste an exorbitant amount of time trying to figure out this super complicated tracking system. So my routine has to be uncomplicated as well. I've been kicking around, toying around with the idea of coming up with a regimen of body weight exercises and this and that, and concentration exercises with dumbbells and whatnot. And I think what I've settled on, at least for the most part, understanding that workouts in general should run about 6 weeks per routine. I spent a lot of time in the past kind of looking at weight loss and looking at weightlifting in general kind of stuff. And 6 weeks. You got to give your body 6 weeks at a given clip when it comes to any kind of weight training, and then you got to rotate the program around. You got to change things up every once in a while. And 6 weeks seems to be a very standard length of time for you to do any one particular series of programs or kind of program before you either inject, a week or two of deloading, where you basically do very limited activity, or you switch it up and do something completely different for a couple weeks. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over without throwing it in, because your body gets used to it. And as our bodies begin to adapt, you start to see progressive decline. Now, it doesn't necessarily work that way with the calorie tracking, because what I'm actually doing with that is I'm creating a consistent calorie deficit day over day, week over week, which, when that boils down to it, that's just raw math. It's raw numbers, right? Calories in minus calories out. If your calories in are more than your calories out, you're going to gain weight. If your calories in are less than your calories out, then you're going to lose weight. And if they're equal, you'll stay the same weight, right? Not taking into account any of the variations and stuff, and like what kind of food you're eating and whatnot. But at the core, that's your basic math for calories. Calories is math. Working out is something completely different. Your body, your muscles, your synapses, your brain, it adapts to stresses. It'll adapt to a stress, it'll change itself to try and deal with that stress. And if you keep using the same repetitive stress, at some point it says, I've already compensated enough for that. I'm done. I mean, I don't need to adapt as much as I need to adapt anymore, right? So every once in a while, you got to shock the body into do it with something completely different. So my first 6-week routine, which I'm starting this week, is basically a series of dumbbell exercises that are done in almost a Tabata or HIIT or interval training type style. And it's basically I'm trying to get 15 to 20 minutes of what they call HIIT, which is high intensity interval training with these weights. So the exercise pool that I'm picking from, and I haven't set it on a complete routine yet, but they're all dumbbell based because that's what I have at home, are dumbbell snatches, dumbbell cleans, dumbbell push presses, and dumbbell deadlifts, and goblet squats. So I've got a pool of 5 exercises right now. I've narrowed it down to. I'm going to put together a 15 to 20 minute routine on a rotating HIIT interval, factoring in a little bit of rest in between sets, in between exercises, and then I'm gonna give that a shot, and we're gonna give it a shot and see what happens. They're easy exercises for me to do. I've done them in the past. I can do a single dumbbell, so that means I can actually work both sides independently. I've got 2 dumbbells if I want to do them together. So that's the routine that I'm going to go with. So there we have it. So I'm gonna put all that together, and I'll either post a video about it or post some information about it. I do have a website, by the way. I have not blogged with a B on that website in quite some time, but my website right now is danielbornt.com, DANIELBORNT, all one word.com. That's my blog site where I, word blog when I decide to. I'm actually finding that the video blogs are much easier for me to do. I haven't gotten into a lot of the weird editing stuff yet and all the cool effects and stuff you can put on it, but it's much easier for me to just rattle on for 15-20 minutes than it is to sit down at the computer and bang out, a couple of pages of stuff. However, I will put the program together, and you can follow me on social media too if you care. My social media links will be down in the show notes as well. You can follow me there. I'm trying to get more active on like Instagram. My three main ones that I usually hit, or I try to hit every day, are Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm not a huge Facebook guy. Like, I don't get on there. I like the ones that where you can keep things fairly short. So, but those are my three primary means of connecting with the outside world over the internet. Twitter, I'm a big Twitter guy. I've always loved Twitter. Instagram's pretty cool. Facebook's like my third choice, but so many people I know, friends, family, and all that are on Facebook, so I post there too. When I get the weight routine down and what I'm doing, I'll probably do a short video about it, and then I'll post it somewhere. I'll post it to one of my social media networks, and then I'll probably put it up on my website so that you guys can go take a look at it. So that covers the weight loss stuff. That actually went on a lot longer than I thought. I'm trying to keep these videos to about 15-20 minutes. So I guess what I'll do is I'm trying to think, should I end it there? Maybe I should end it there. Yeah, you know what? I'm at 17 minutes. That'll work. All right, so I'm going to end the video there. I've covered the weight loss thing. I don't want to cover too many topics in these videos because then that'll give me more content to try and roll these out on a daily basis. I know in one of my posts recently, I also talked about wanting to start a 52-day reading through the books of the prophets in the Bible. I'm a Christian, if you haven't figured that out already. A busy life leads my biblical reading and biblical knowledge at a disadvantage right now, and it's something that I'm really trying to get committed to. So I will be posting future videos about that topic. I have not started it yet. I think in a blog I said I was starting it. I have not started it yet. There will be a video posted when I do start it, because what I plan to do is read the first section and then do a video that kind of outlines the plan and gives my synopsis of the first section. It's going to be sort of like my accountability. I'm going to read the section, glean what I can glean from it, and then do a video about it. Again, I'm trying to keep all these videos to about 15-20 minutes. So anyway, if you like the content of this video, as always, comments are always very helpful. Criticism is fine. Like I said, I got a thick skin. If you don't like something, I'm not going to pay attention to comments that are derogatory or anything like that. I'll just delete them or blow them away. I'm not going to get in any kind of wars with anybody over stuff. Thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't like it. If you really like my stuff and you want to stay on top of it as I try to crank out more stuff, subscribe to the channel, follow me on any of my social media accounts. I'm not prolific yet because, like I said, I'm doing this on the side. My cousin's very good about this kind of stuff, but it's his full-time gig, man. This is what he does for a living. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I have a job. So my stuff is going to be a little bit more sporadic than, say, every day cranking it out over and over and over again. But I'm working on it. So with that said, I hope you all have a really great day, and I'm out.